At the end of today's video, you will have a completely self-hosted N8N instance on your set device, with which you can build basic to complex workflows with AI agents and code nodes and everything. This will be a complete robust setup on your device. So jumping right in, you guys can check my comprehensive guide of self-hosting N8N on your local device with Docker. This is a complete guide. It not only explains how we set up N8N on a self-host step by step, it also explains why are we setting it up the way it is. We are setting it up. So this is a really detailed guide. It is 20 pages long, but we won't be needing that. I'll walk you through step by step on how to actually completely self-host N8N on your device. So there are two requirements which we would need to check. So let's jump right in. First would be to see if hardware virtualization is enabled on our system. So this is a mandatory prerequisite for hosting N8N with Docker. So to check if you have hardware virtualization, you just need to open Task Manager, Control Shift Escape, or you can just search for it as well. Go into Performance, and in the CPU section, we can see here virtualization is enabled. Just you can check it out here. Okay. And other is if you have WSL2. Almost all Windows laptop and laptops come with WSL2 nowadays, so not at all to worry. So the first step is going to the Docker website and actually installing Docker. So we'll search for Docker desktop for Windows. Install Docker desktop, and based on your device preference, you just click this and download this, and it is being downloaded at the moment. Till the time it is downloading, let me explain you a few fundamental concepts of Docker, so that you really understand what is going on. So Docker is nothing but a way for us to isolate softwares and platforms in a container. What is the benefit of it and what is a container? I'll explain everything. First of all, there's only three things you need to understand: containers, images, and volumes. First of all, container is nothing but an isolated environment within your computer system, an isolated environment with namespaces and C groups, in which whatever platform you're running, it runs completely isolated from the host device, and it doesn't have any reference to whatever is happening outside. So if suppose in a container you're running a specific software and it crashes, nothing on your system is affected by it. Only the container in which it is running is affected. And not only that, it provides a consistent environment. If you're running it inside a container, if you're running a software inside a container, and if I want to send this software on another system, if I open it through the same container there, it will be the same environment for it, and it will work this same consistently on that device as well. You won't have that issues where it works on my device but not on others. So you won't have development issues. So containers are nothing but an isolated environment for running your softwares and platforms. Then what are images? Images are nothing but the softwares and platforms which you run inside a container. In a container, you run the image of a specific software. Then we have volumes. Volumes is nothing but a memory for the container. If you are running N8N inside a container, and if you are building workflows, we would want them to be saved somewhere, right? If I'm done for the day, I shut down my system, and tomorrow when I wake up, I want to start where I left off, right? So that is where volume comes in. Volumes are nothing but storage on your host device that are connected to containers in which they store all your data. These are the three things. And we also have a few comparison or why we are running the way we are running Docker. Docker run versus Docker compose. We'll be using Docker compose for sure. So you can just check these differences in both of them, and Docker compose makes the most sense. And the main thing, one of the main thing I wanted to say was about this GitHub repository about N8N self-hosted AI starter kit. So if you open this, if you open this repository, you will find this in this repository N8N, Postgres SQL, Olama, and I believe Quadrant. So, self-hosted N8N, Olama, Quadrant, and PostgreSQL. So these are the almost all the tools you would require to build complex workflows in N8N. So it is everything jam packed in one. But I don't suggest everyone going for this because everyone's system is not powerful enough to run an AI LLM locally on that system. So the method I'm suggesting is the best and most efficient method to run it on any system. So our Docker has installer has been installed. So let's jump and install our Docker desktop application. So we have Docker desktop in initializing and installing. So in this configuration, if you get an option where it says something about WSL2 and using it over Hyper-V, then please click on that and accept that. So let's continue and install Docker desktop on our device. This is the first step in installing. This might take a while. So our Docker has been installed. So what we need to do is close and restart our windows so everything is completely initialized and installed. So now our Docker has been installed. So it should open automatically, but if it doesn't, you can just open Docker desktop and accept the terms and conditions. In this system specifically, I don't have Windows subsystem of Linux, WSL, which I was mentioning earlier. But you can install this, just click enter and you accept it. Yes. So it will take a few moments and Docker desktop actually sets this up for you. See, we have been prompted with Windows subsystem for Linux 2.5 has been installed. The application completed successfully. Press any key to exit. You click enter here and your WSL2 also has been installed. And you will be greeted with this page when you open Docker for the first time, and you can actually just skip it for now. See, now we have Docker running and it is working. So now actually to install, we don't actually need to be on this home page or interface. We can just minimize it for now, and we can also minimize this. And most of our work we'll be doing on command prompt now. We'll run it as administration, so no restrictions stop us. So we'll open command prompt, and first we'll see Docker version. So just checking if Docker has been properly installed. So it has returned us with all the versions of whatever information, everything is there about Docker. Now what we will do is check version for Docker Compose in version. We click hit enter and it also shows Docker Compose is it also shows here Docker Compose version 2.39.2 desktop 1, and everything is set up. To check everything once again at the end, what you do We'll build a dummy container and we'll run it. So type docker and make sure to copy these commands exactly the way I'm writing, and no, like these, some of these are caps, sensitive, so it might not give you a proper output if you type it in caps or leave a space or something. So type it as I'm typing. So docker run hello hyphen world. Hello from Docker. This is what you are supposed to find when you run this, and if you find this, that means N8N is able to pull images from the web and able to make containers on your system. So our system, the whatever prerequisites are there, it is completely running fine, perfect. Now what we need to do is make a directory or a folder where we will uh, actually install our containers and everything. So to make a directory, we need a command mk make directory. Then you'll type percentage sign all caps user profile. Then again a percentage sign backward slash n8n hyphen docker. And now we'll click enter. The directory has been created, but we are not currently inside the directory, right? See, we are on C Windows System 32. We are in this directory, but we want to be in this directory, and we want to be in this folder to make changes to it. So what we'll do is we'll write cd the same user profile first date sign backward slash and then n8n hyphen docker, and we'll click enter. And now as you can see, it says C users PC and n8n doc. See, now we are actually inside the directory we want it to be. So there will be two files which we need to be creating. Our pubspec YAML file in which we'll define the configuration of our containers, and another file .env file, which is nothing but where we'll store our environment variable, basically your usernames, passwords, credentials, all of that things. The benefit of separating it to and saving it separately is that if you want to share your configurations, you can just share your YAML file, and uh, everything will be done, and you won't be sharing your credentials, which should be kept private. So what we'll do is we'll go to this directory. First we'll open our file explorer, and what we'll do is we'll go to our pca and level pc users. We'll go exactly to the directory which we just made in pc, and now if we go here below, we should find n8n docker. This is the directory we have made. Now we need to put two files which we have made in this folder. What we'll do is I have those two files in here. So we need to put these two files inside that n8n docker folder. So first let's see what is inside this file so you get an actual idea of what is inside. This is basically your whole configuration of what you want to set up in inside of Docker's containers. So, inside this we have n8n and we have PostgreSQL. These are the two things which we would be needing to get a proper, consistent, robust, self-hosted n8n setup. And we will also have defined two volumes, basically two folders in which all of our data will be getting stored. And I'll attach this file inside the description. You can just copy and paste this. And but the main thing is make sure to copy it just as it is, because it is really indentation sensitive. What does indentation sensitive mean? Even a small difference in space can actually really throw a hell lot of errors, because it will throw off the whole code, and nothing makes sense to the system if even there is a slight space, extra space in between. So copy it and paste it as it is. And the other is .env file, which is just written on Notepad, nothing else. It is this one is a .yml file. This is nothing but a .txt file. In this you have Postgres. You need to copy exact this, and when you save this, I want you to put your own password here in Postgres password. You should create a strong password and put this here, which will be used in uh, login pages. And you don't need to put usernames and all, which because those will you can put later when the containers actually spin up, and the first time you log in, you'll put all the usernames and other passwords there. First, one of the password needs to put here regarding the Postgres password. So create a strong password and paste it in. So we have now these two files. What we will do is we'll take both of these files and we will paste inside the directory we just created. This directory, C users PC N8N Docker. I haven't closed the command prompt. You should let it be open. And now what we'll do is we'll paste the two files in here. They are literally a KB, so they're really small files. And we'll close this. We'll close this, and we'll have this file explorer with our files. Let's just minimize it, and we are almost set up. So what we'll do is we'll remake this file once again. What we'll do is we'll delete this file. We'll create a new text file, text document, and we'll name it dot. You know what? Just not. Let's not do this. Instead, rather open a new notepad. Just completing, and we'll paste what we needed with the password, and we'll click on like save as, and we'll save it in the exact directory which we just did. Go to all files. This is really important, or else it will just save it as a txt file, which is not that what we want. And we'll name it .env, and go to the exact directory, and we'll save it there. And maybe the thing was happening because the file got saved as txt, because I moved it from somewhere else. So let's try and do it again. See, it is now saying env file. So we'll minimize this, we'll go back to this, and we'll once clear everything, docker compose down. This will remove everything. Even if you go inside of docker, you'll see all the other containers are gone. Only the hello world thing which we ran in the beginning is there here. So we'll do it once again. Docker compose up -d. We click enter, and let's see. Now everything seems to be running completely fine, created, healthy, and started. So just to make sure, what we'll do is we'll do docker compose logs hyphen f. This will give us all the logs once again, and we'll go through that and see. We have everything set up, everything seems to be working fine, and everything seems to be working perfectly. So we'll so now we have everything set up. One thing which which is the highlight of what the method which I have done is, usually what people do is when they set up N8N, they use services like ngrok or other third party services as it for tunneling, and they use a proper they buy a proper domain for their local N8N instance to get access to it everywhere. But you don't actually need that. N8N already has an inbuilt tunnel. So to turn that on, I already included in the Docker Compose file. If we go inside of Docker Compose, our YAML file, you will see entry point init and start tunnel. We have written the command already inside here. So that is the benefit of doing it the way I do, because you get this URL which is the same almost every time, and through this URL you can use webhooks and you can send data to this URL. And you could also, if you're suppose I'm running it on my laptop, and this is here running here on my desk, and if suppose I'm sitting even across the world, I can use this URL and log into my instance and can build workflows and do everything running on this device, but through another device through this URL. So you can copy this URL and you can save it somewhere and you can use it everywhere. So now let's close this and we'll click here, Control C, and see we have exited. Now you have this URL which I would suggest you copy and you paste somewhere. And now you can actually close this. You can close this, you can also close this, everything you can close. And now inside your Docker, you have N8N Docker. Inside this, you have two containers, N8N and Postgres. And in this, you have ports 5, 6, 7, 8. On this, if you click, you will go to your N8N workflow. Now you can set up your account, and voila, you have everything, the proper setup for N8N that can build any sort of workflows. You set up your owner account and it will keep all your credentials safe in a separate folder. Don't have to worry about that. And this is just the basic survey. You just need to, you can do anything, and you can also put your email and get a license key and get some of the premium features which are actually, N8N is completely open source. They just do this to get your email and you can activate those features, and I suggest you do. And after that, you are completely inside your N8N, and you can open the editor, start building. You have everything here. You can get AI agents node, AI agent nodes. It's a complete setup. Now just this thing, whenever you save it also saves in the volume, so not at all to worry. Even if you close this and open this, that is what I was getting to. Now what I suggest is not to open, like some of online you would see that people, what they do is open command line, and every time they type docker compose down, and that is really not good was suggested, and that is not how you work. That what is it is doing is it is deleting your containers when you type docker compose down. So you don't want to, and because the memory is persisting inside of volumes, you won't know it, and the instance will be same at the second time you run docker compose up. So rather than that, you can just open docker desktop, and this is really actually easier. You can just use stop here, and your container will pause, shut down for now, and you can, if you're done for today, you can stop from here, and you can shut down your PC, and tomorrow morning when you want to start working on it, you can just click on start, and both of the containers will start running, and you'll be back running again. And do not put like a pause thing. The pause is something, it actually just stops all the operations that are going on, but it doesn't actually turn off the container inside the software inside the container. So this is a really niche feature. So whenever you need to access now the self-host, you just come here and click start and access, open the both of the containers, and you just click on the port, and you'll use it. And let me just show you one last time using that webhook URL which we copied. So let us just start our containers. See, now our containers are started, but I won't open it using this local host port. What I'll do is I'll open a new tab and I'll paste the URL which we copied there. See, this was the URL given to us. When I click on it, it's a little comparatively on the slower side because you're not running it directly locally, and it also depends on the network you have and also the system, how powerful your system is. And it is basically the same local host which we have, and but we are accessing it through the internet, so you can just log in here and work from here. So with this URL you can access it from anywhere in the world, and it is a built-in feature. You don't need to even integrate any third-party softwares for this. So that is it. We have successfully installed N8N and Postgres both inside a container, and a complete robust N8N self-hosted instance on your system. So this is it, and you can find this document with every detail. This a comprehensive guide for self-hosting. This guide will be in the description. The YAML file, the .env file, everything will be in the description. So please do check it out, and till next time, peace out.